crazy. I know we're not Kirk County. I know we're not Kerrville. I know we're not San Angelo or San Antonio. But hell, we're human beings. Help us. Give us what we need. But for God's sakes, Travis County, help us. Don't treat us like we're nothing out here, because we're not. We're human beings. We pay taxes out here. Don't treat us like this.
Oh. This you?
You know, Grandma, I wasn't going to step up on your video this morning, but I'm going to have to do that. We're not going to help out anybody. Y'all been living on food stamps, EBT, Section 8 housing your entire freaking lives, and you're not going to do it anymore. If you can work, you're an able-bodied person, go get a job. I'm tired of paying for it. And you, ma'am, probably are on Social Security, so you'll get the help you need. Have the day you deserve.
I really can't tell. So, is this you?
About it, Ron DeSantis is still governor of Florida. He took the comfy couch hosts
you Democrats
on a tour
spin
of the concentration camp that he's building in Florida
into a state
in
dinner,
order to
and somebody would believe
people,
you. Ma'am, you continue to lie and lie and lie and spread misinformation because I don't know why. Who's paying you? Source? I don't know who's paying you. Ma'am, you are so full of dog poop, it's not even funny.
Latino.
Nobody's listening to all of you all crazies anymore. Goodbye.
One more time.
What you gonna do, crybaby?
With alligator.
Alcatraz.
Honestly
if
can't
I
say on
want
this
to.
app what I want
What
to
you
do.
gonna do, baby? I'm gonna tell you FA and FO. Okay?
For a concentration
So you have the day you deserve.
Yeah, that's you. And it looks like you're finding out after fucking around. It looks like you are having the day that you deserved.
We're nothing out here because we're not. We're human beings. We pay taxes out here. Don't treat us like this.
That's crazy. Wonder if she tried reaching out to FEMA. You would have thought that the hat would have gave her special privileges. You know, they wear that hat like it gives them special privileges. The hat didn't work. Wonder what Donald Trump is doing, watching all of these people suffer. Yeah, I got nothing. Because I knew Donald Trump and his administration and all of the people that support him. I knew they were cold, heartless individuals. So I didn't vote for any of these people because I knew they would squander my tax dollars. But y'all voted for him and he ended up squandering my tax dollars anyway. He's probably, all of the FEMA money, yeah, yeah, I heard they paid $450 million for that Alcatraz alligator thing. Yeah, somebody needs to investigate that. That's probably where all of our tax dollars went. Somebody needs to investigate that. There is no way that them putting up a tent with a few cages costed $450 million. Yeah, I feel like there's some embezzlement going on. Yeah, I feel like there was some fake corporations and LLCs that...
Immigrants built America, from the railroads to Silicon Valley, from hospitals to the farms that feed your families. Immigrants keep this country running. But despite their vital role, many still face racism, xenophobic, and discrimination, especially from white Americans who benefit the most from their labor. Today, let's talk about why this needs to stop and why immigrants are not a threat, but a lifeline to the American economy. Watch and pay attention, and I will share my thought later.
Probably sent in some invoicing, and those invoices were paid out to people's pockets. Yeah, that's what I feel like. That's probably where your tax dollars went, ma'am. Yeah, I hope you get the help. I really do. I don't know. When Joe Biden was in office, FEMA was on the scene, right? Issuing out checks for what people were saying was just $750. But that $750 took care of your immediate needs, allowed you to get a hotel room, get somewhere and get some food and that type of stuff. But yeah, they not doing that now that Donald Trump's in office. I mean, y'all said that he was going to fix everything. Everything was going to be so much better. So yeah, maybe he'll take care of it when he gets off the golf course.
By cross or something negative, keep it to yourself. Scroll on.
For context, that is this woman who we've all seen in a video going around where she is begging her local government for help because her and her community have been quote unquote forgotten in the Texas floods. And if you take 10 seconds on her page, you will see that besides since July 4th, her videos are all extremely hateful duets with people here on TikTok who are feeling the pain and the fear of President Trump's policies. And she spends her time making fun of them, has zero empathy, but yet wants us all to have empathy for her and her community. And I wanted to talk about this because of the video I made yesterday calling out liberal states and how much hate and how much lack of empathy I got here in Florida during the hurricane season, and you know, fighting back against letting your heart become so hardened, because there are so many people, for example, in Texas that voted for Kamala Harris, right? There's the same amount of people that voted for Donald Trump that are in Texas that are in California, and she is a perfect example of why it is so hard to hold on to that sense of empathy for everyone, because she, in every way that I can think of, she doesn't deserve it. She does not deserve my empathy, or my tax dollars. But I'm a better person than her. And a lot of you watching are a much better person than her. And part of what makes us better than her is our ability to have empathy for others. And we cannot lose that. And I know that even though she's calling out her own governor, saying that they've been forgotten yet again, and she's on TV bawling her eyes out, begging for help, saying we're human beings, we pay taxes out here. I know that even though she is a part of a horrible tragedy going on right now, it is not going to change her way of thinking. But I wanted to share this exact screenshot on the off chance that you are watching this video. Pay attention to the words. We're human beings. People here that are immigrants, whether they have the right documentation or not, are saying the same thing. They're begging, they're crying the same fucking words. We're human beings. We pay taxes here. Because whether you want to believe it or not, immigrants, whether they are documented or undocumented, are paying taxes. They're paying into the system that's going to give you the supplies you are so desperately begging for. But yet they're not going to get any of the benefit. And they still do it because they want to be here and they want to have a better life for themselves and their family. And all you have time to do is sit on the internet and make fun of people who have empathy, who are better human beings than you. And I didn't see your comments, but I can guess that they are a lot like comments that I have gotten from people that didn't know me and assumed because I lived in Florida that I voted just like you. And I have also lost a child. And I'm so very sorry for your loss. And I know that it had to hurt you so deeply when people came after the cross around your neck, knowing now that they hold your daughter's ashes. That being said, you need to understand that they weren't attacking your daughter. They weren't attacking your daughter's ashes. They were coming after the hypocrisy of wearing a cross, right? It's the cross shape that is the problem, the cross of what it represents and the values and the beliefs it represents that you are not modeling in your life. And it is so hard when you end all of these videos saying, have the day you deserve, for me not to say, yeah, and you're having the day you deserve. Those children, those teenagers, those adults that I have no idea whether or not they chose the defunding of the weather service, if they chose to vote for the Republican Party that has had control over your state for what, decade after decade after decade, they did not deserve to die the way they did. But when you hear that your state and those areas have been asking your state government that is run by Republicans for flood sirens for years and they have been denying it, they're not there to help you. You even said it yourself. They've forgotten you. And I guarantee you FEMA's not going to come either. Honestly, you would do best to just delete all of your videos at this point.
And political comments about these posts about my area.
This is Aubrey Gallagher. Aubrey Gallagher lives in Austin, Texas, and it appears that Aubrey Gallagher was affected from the floods that hit near Lake Travis. This is Aubrey Gallagher. This is Aubrey Gallagher. This is Aubrey Gallagher. And this is Aubrey Gallagher calling someone a monkey, a gorilla, a nerd. And one thing all of those people have in common is that they're all Democrats, and they were all voicing their frustration with recent executive orders in the current administration. But Aubrey felt that she needed to get online and duet people's videos and make fun of them and say that she could buy alligator Alcatraz merch if she wants to, and that she doesn't feel any empathy for anything that's going on with other people. But then the floods happened, and Aubrey found herself in need of assistance and was looking for people to be empathetic and stop being so mean. So it's just weird to me how she wants people to be empathetic to her situation, but she doesn't have any empathy for anybody else. And just in case you missed it, her name's Aubrey Gallagher. I'm going to have one of her videos linked in my captions. That is until she blocks me. So y'all have a great day. Do with that information what you will. Love you.
Since I'm really pissed off, I really am. Especially at some leftist content creators. I really am. Don't politicize. Don't say nothing. Don't do this. Don't do that. Okay. This is who you are siding with.
Swear to God, if I ever see anybody with alligator
Alcatraz.
I honestly can't say on this app what I want to do.
What you gonna do, baby? I'm gonna tell you F.A. and F.O.
Are you feeling nervous? Are you having fun? It's almost over. It's just begun. Don't overthink this. Look in my eye.
Swear to God, if I ever see anybody in public with alligator Alcatraz merch,
F.A.F.O. And if you want to come on,
I honestly can't say on this app what I will do to you.
this woman right here, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to you.
Oh, you might not know who she is. She's the one that's been screaming about being in Kern County or not being in Kern County and how they need help. But again, all of you fucking leftist content creators, this is who you sound like.
I have to say I am saddened by the amount of nasty and political comments about these posts.
See, this is my problem with self-righteous motherfuckers. I don't even know who the fuck y'all are. I don't. I follow some of y'all and I do not understand this new tactic. Y'all are doing exactly what MAGA's doing. by saying shit that ain't true, that isn't true in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And then to top that off, you are trying to chastise us rather than chastising the people who put this situation into motion in the first place. Who are y'all? Who are y'all? When they were cheering for ICE agents, was you telling us not to say something? Were you? When they were opening up Alligator Alcatraz and bragging about the shit, were y'all telling us not to say anything? Disarmed is deceased. Disarmed is deceased. Playing nice ain't getting us no goddamn where. These people we're not changing hearts and minds. We're not. So at some point, somebody gonna have to stand up and go, man, fuck you. Fuck you and everything that you stand for. This doofy bitch is out here talking this shit. But a lot of y'all want to come after us? For not having the level of empathy and sympathy you think we should have? Word? For real? I see you. I see all of you. Again, I follow a lot of you. And I've noticed. I'm sitting here looking at you. Sitting there looking at you. This is why we keep getting our fucking teeth kicked in. This is exactly why the fuck there is no such thing as leftist unity. It's a coalition full of people who all might be going to the exact same place, but we ain't going there for the same fucking reasons. And we are combating some of the most heartless motherfuckers on the face of the earth. What you see on TikTok and on social media in general is just a fucking microcosm of that. But go in with our hands up. How dare you? How fucking dare you? How dare you? So I want you to celebrate the fact that you now have something in common with this bitch. Now's not the time for politics. Don't be so nasty. And when it comes back, and these people go back to being exactly what the fuck they've always been, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear shit from you. I don't. I want you to stand your ass over there and go, yeah. Because you disappoint me. You fucking disappoint me. At some point, facts have to be spoken. This ain't asking for cruelty. This isn't wishing for death. This isn't celebrating the death of children or elderly people or anything like that. It is speaking truth to power. Maybe, if y'all didn't start acting like the Democratic fucking Party and actually fought these people on the grounds they set, this motherfucker wouldn't be sitting in the White House cutting off fucking FEMA and fucking NOAA and shit like that in the first place. Did you ever think about that? Probably not, finger wagger.
I'm a parent, and as a parent, I would never rejoice in the death of any child, not even the ones whose families wouldn't shed a tear if mine were gone. That's what makes this so hard, because the truth is, it's getting harder and harder to give empathy in a country where mine is rarely returned. When Trayvon Martin died, the story wasn't about a child being stalked and killed. It was about what he was wearing, whether he smoked weed, whether he obeyed. A hoodie became a weapon. A walk home from the store became suspicious. And somehow his death became a debate instead of a heartbreak. But when white children die, whether it's in a school shooting or most recently during a flood in Texas, we don't talk about what they were wearing. We don't ask why they were outside. We don't demand to see their social media history. We mourn. We grieve. We send thoughts and prayers. We say, this is a tragedy. Why do our children have to be perfect just to be mourned? Why does Black pain come with conditions? And when people like me point out that these deaths, whether in floods, detention centers, or war zones, deserve equal empathy, the question always comes up, why are you making this political? Let me answer that clearly. It's political because policy decides who gets to live. It's political because voting shapes survival, not just in courtrooms and classrooms, but in neighborhoods, weather patterns, emergency alerts, and disaster response. Let's take this flood in Texas. Do you know that the meteorologist responsible for coordinating early warnings, the one person whose job was to make sure communities were alerted in time, left months ago after taking an early retirement buyout created by Trump-era budget cuts? That role was never refilled, not because no one wanted it, but because the budget to refill it was slashed. And when a 1,000-year flood hit in the dead of night, rural towns with weak infrastructure, poor cell service, and no sirens were left defenseless. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's cause and effect. No, Biden didn't control the weather. No, Trump didn't create the storm. But when a government systematically guts agencies like FEMA, NOAA, and the National Weather Service and installs leaders who don't believe in science, you are left with a natural disaster, amplified by political neglect. So when people ask, what does politics have to do with these kids dying? My answer is everything. Politics decide whether a weather warning reaches your phone in time. Politics decides whether your neighborhood is zoned in a flood plan or whether developers were allowed to build there anyway. Politics decide if the bridges around your town are high enough, the levees strong enough, the shelters stocked enough. And politics decide who gets FEMA aid first and who gets forgotten. These aren't random acts of God. These are decisions made in boardrooms, courtrooms, and voting booths. And they affect us all, but disproportionately those who have the least protection and the least power. This isn't just about Black and brown lives. It's about everyone who is vulnerable under this regime. Because the truth is, while racism is a tool of division, neglect is bipartisan. And if they can ignore us, they'll ignore you too, eventually. Still, I get it. It's hard to feel empathy for people when you believe they wouldn't feel it for you. But I'll never rejoice in a child's death. Not because I haven't felt bitterness, but because I know what it feels like to be the one mourning a child that no one shows up for. No flowers, no headlines, no moment of silence, just questions, just blame, just silence. That's why I'm here, to say I am a parent. And I won't let selective empathy shape the way we grieve or survive. If your child deserves to be saved from a storm, so does mine. If your family deserves early warnings, so does mine. If your neighborhood deserves resources, so does mine. Empathy should not require proximity. It should not require perfection. It should not require whiteness. This fight isn't just about Black lives. It's about all of us living under a system that profits from division and depends on our silence. The floods are getting stronger. The warnings are getting later. The budgets are getting smaller. And the people in charge are getting crueler. When they come knocking, they won't care what race you are. They'll care whether you are profitable, whether you are obedient, whether you matter to them. So if you want your child to be safe, fight for mine too. Because when we fight for all of us, we all have a better chance of surviving what's coming next.
We're human beings. We pay taxes. Don't treat us like this. The immigrants at Alligator Alcatraz, not human, very likely pay taxes. You were telling people to cry more. You're going to get all the Alligator Alcatraz merch you want. And then when the next person was crying over the big beautiful bill passing, because we all care about all of us. People have empathy that reaches beyond their own fucking noses. But you don't have any idea what that's like because you were laughing at that person too, mouthing, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" But then when it comes to your own tragedy, now suddenly everybody needs to see the humanity in you. And everyone is on here saying that we have to take the high road. Don't politicize this. Now is not the time. When the fuck will it be the time? Tell me. Because there is no reasoning with people like this. They don't have the emotional intelligence or intelligence in general to empathize with anyone whose circumstances do not mirror their own exactly. And even then they don't give a shit because it's a fundamental and malignant lack of empathy. They cheer when they're up, they cry when they're down, but the only times they're up is when they're shoving your face in the dirt. That's why they love the cruelty so much. You heard her describe her situation. They're poor. They don't have anything. Her community's poor. And yet, she cheers on. She doesn't just cheer on. She revels in the subjugation and torture of other people because it's the only time she feels good. So no, there is no better time. If we're going to change their minds, it's going to be when they're feeling like shit. They need to be feeling like shit for them to feel anything, especially for anybody else, because that's when they want to manipulate you into giving a shit about them, because they are the type of people who require being manipulated into giving a shit. They don't come to empathy on their own. So yes, right now is the fucking time. Let them know that this was a culmination of their own fucking choices. And as long as they continue to not think of their neighbors, not think of their communities, not think of the plight of other people, they will be served exactly this. Like I said, I'm kind, but I'm not always nice. And in this situation...
Let's start with the truth. There is no America without immigrants. White Americans have to forget their own ancestors came here as immigrants, fleeing poverty, war, or persecution. Whether Irish, German, Polish, or Italian, they were once seen as outsiders too, but now they are part of the mainstream. So why the double standard when today's immigrants come from Mexico, Nigeria, India, El Salvador, or China? It isn't about immigration, it is about race. Let's be honest, immigrants are working the jobs that many Americans would not touch. Who picks your fruits and vegetables in 100-degree heat? Who cares for your elderly? Who built your homes? It is not Wall Street bankers, it is not politicians, it is immigrants, many of whom are underpaid and overworked. They are not stealing jobs, they are saving industries. Without them, farms collapse, restaurants close, hospitals suffer, the supply chain break down. Immigrants do not drain the economy, they fuel it. According to research, immigrants contribute hundreds of billions in taxes yearly. They start business at nearly double the rate of native-born citizens. They bring innovation, especially in tech and healthcare. Blocking immigrants is not just morally wrong, it is economically wrong. Even undocumented immigrants pay billions in taxes, federal, state, and local. Yet they cannot vote, they are ineligible for social security, they do not qualify for most public benefits. That is called taxation without representation. Sound familiar? It is the same injustice that sparked the American Revolution. Despite all their contributions, immigrants are often treated like criminals, deported for traffic stop, separated from their children, harassed, beaten, even killed just for being different. This discrimination is not just un-American, it is inhuman, it is racist, and it must stop. Because America is not a white nation. It is and has always been a nation of immigrants. Immigrants are also powering America's future. They make up 1 in 4 doctors, a huge portion of STEM students, thousands of tech engineers, software developers, and researchers. Want to stay globally competitive? You need immigrants in your classrooms, your labs, and your boardrooms, period. If you are a white America, ask yourself, why are you afraid of people who only want a better life? The same way your ancestors did. Immigrants are not your enemies. They are your co-workers, your neighbors, your doctors, your delivery drivers. They are raising your children and caring for your parents. White supremacy teaches division, but progress demands unity. If you care about America, you should care about the people building it every day. Immigrants are not a burden. They are not a threat. They are the beating heart of the American dream. It is time to drop the hate and lift up humanity. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comment box below. Until next time, cheers and have a good one.